Welcome to the Vault Archons. I am the Keeper of Keys, Kraz, and we are here to discuss the cards that can potentially break the game. So the cards that really can do this are the ones that can forge keys outside of your regular step. So I do have two full examples of this because I have all the cards for the combinations, just not in the same deck. So we're going to start with the one that I believe is the most broken. Okay, so the most broken one that we have is going to be the combination involving Chota Hazri. Now, the reason I think this is possibly the most broken combination is one, this combination takes 6 cards, has a couple different cards that can substitute into it, has not a single rare in the entire combination, and in one single round you can forge 3 keys and your opponent cannot do anything to stop you. This, in my opinion, is probably the most broken combination in the game, and because it's the only one I know of that can end the game in a single round. The only other combination I can think of that can end the game in a single round takes 1 card and only 1 card called the Restrin Gundus. I do not have one of them. It's in the Dis house, and it's the one that basically says your opponent cannot choose whatever house you chose when you played the card. If you had 3 of those in your deck, you could get all of them on the board, shut down all 3 of your opponent's houses, and the game is over because at that point you just play until you forge all your keys and your opponent gets no turns. I'm pretty sure that they saw that combination of having too many of those cards in a deck, so I don't think we'll ever see a deck with 3 Restrin Gundus in it, but I could be wrong. So the combination we're going to look at is called Chota Hazri. This is the Chota Hazri combo, and this is basically Chota Hazri of Doom. The first card that this combination is going to use is this one right here. So once you have all these cards in your hand or archive so that you can pick them up and use them, the first card you're going to play is Full Moon. Now, you need 1 amber when this combination starts. You play Full Moon, and this makes every creature that you play gain an additional amber. So every creature you're going to bring into play at this point will give you an amber. Actually, you need 0 amber when this starts. Because the first one, the next creature you're going to play is called the Dust Pixie. You're going to gain 2 for playing it, 1 for Full Moon. That's 3 amber. Then you're going to play a second Dust Pixie. And these are commons. All these cards so far are commons. And this is going to give you 6 amber. And then you're going to play Chota Hazri. Well, this will give you your 7th amber. You're going to lose 1 for playing Chota Hazri, so you're back to 6. And then you forge a key. Right? The next card you are going to play after that is Nature's Call. Now, Nature's Call lets you pick up, send 3 cards, creatures from the board back to their owner's hand. Well, the 3 cards we're sending back to the owner's hand are the 2 Dust Pixies and Chota Hazri. Off the board they go, back into your hand they go, and you repeat the process. First thing you play is Dust Pixie. Now you're at 4 amber because you gained 1 for playing Nature's Call. Now you play another one. You're now at 7 amber, right? And then you play Chota Hazri. You're at 8 amber minus 1. You're down to 7. You forge a key. You're left with 1. And you either then play a second Nature's Call, or if you had prepared the turn beforehand, you can then use Nepenthe Seeds, right, to return your other Nature's Call back to your hand, and repeat the step and forge your 3rd key and end the game. The other thing you can do is you could use cards to kill off Chota Hazri and then play Regrowth, right? So there's just a lot of ways that this combination really just becomes really dangerous, and it is a one-term game ender. So if you're somebody who watches my videos, what I would suggest is find one of these decks cheap if there is one on eBay. Find it cheap, you know, before anybody realizes this combination. If you can find it, or you have a friend who has it, buy it from them for a reasonable price before people realize what this is, and go nuts. Because if this deck shows up its price is going to be insane because this is a one-turn game ender, and if the deck that has this combination also has logos or a lot of archive mechanics, you can then archive these cards away for when you need them, and then once the combination begins, the game ends. So this is by far the most powerful combination. Not a single card in this entire set of cards is rare. All uncommon or common. So this is probably going to exist, and I'm not really sure that they would have seen this combination to remove it from the algorithm's ability to make it. So the next combination we're going to look at, now we're not going to do a full combination with this, but this card right here, Keyforge, okay, is yet another card that has the potential to do broken things. And the reason is because then you can use Keyforge with Nepenthe Seeds, Dust Pixies, and Nature's Call, and Full Moon, right? So you can replace your Chota Hazari with Keyforge, right? And then you can use this combination. Now it's going to take you a little bit longer, and you're going to be lacking an amber because of the Chota Hazari missing. So you're going to have to start with one extra amber, but once you play the Nature's Call, you get the last amber you need. So the first time around, you're going to have an extra, and then you're going to have to use Nepenthe Seeds to bring Keyforge back into your hand over and over again. Or there is a, I think it's the Witch of the Eye is the one that brings the card back. But if your opponent knows what they're doing, the Witch of the Eye is not going to remain on the board. It's going to die immediately. So that's that combination, and that's Untamed. So Untamed really has the greatest potential for breaking the game, and Keyforge is also an uncommon. So all those cards are uncommon. So now we're going to look at another combination. This combination, I have all but one card in one of my decks. So I'm pretty sure this combination also exists. They probably didn't think about it. It didn't occur to them. Now it maybe that's why that one card is missing. But if they didn't think about this combination, it's going to use Key Abduction. Now, the reason that this combination can be broken is because Key Abduction, now this is going to take a little bit longer to do than the Untamed one. The Chota Hazari of Doom is just not really, it's just so good. Like, it's insanely good. This is almost as good. Actually, there's an Epic Quest combination that I think would be just as equally broken, which would potentially enter the game. But the thing is there's ways to stop these other combinations. There is no way to stop the Chota Hazari of Doom. There is no way to stop it. Once it starts, it is game over. So the only way that they can stop you is if they stop you before, and they have to just stop you without knowing that they need to stop you. Basically, they need to force you to discard cards, and then they can discard the card out of your hand that breaks the combination. So they're basically going to have to discard it out of your hand with luck. Or burn your archive, and there's only one rare card that does that. So this combination right here uses Key Abduction. When you play this, you bring all your creatures back to your hand. You can forge a key at +9 cost. Because you gain 1 amber for this card, technically, even if you start at 0 with this combination, you're going to be getting 1, and then you have 5 cards left in your hand when you play this. So really, you're forging, you have the cost for your key right there. Sorry, you have this brought down to 3 right off the bat because of the 1 amber you're gaining. You have 5 cards. So you need to have 9 amber currently. So the way this combination starts, it's a little bit more long-winded. You're going to begin this combination by playing this card, Invasion Portal. Now this is going to let you mill through your deck and pick up creatures. One of the creatures you're going to want to pick up is this guy right here. Now this one right here, this deck that this is in actually has 2 Shadow Selves which will protect this, this creature. And so this is allowing you to archive your creatures up off the board. And so this is basically going to allow you to take your Mars, archive them away. Okay, and so you're going to go with your portal, archive a creature. Once this combination starts, unless they destroy your portal or destroy this, you're going to get all the cards you need within probably about 4 or 5 turns. So unless they stop this really fast, they're in trouble. I also have some cards that will return these, but that's a whole different story. Once you get this kind of combination started, now these cards are not required for the combination, by the way. These just make the combination easier. So then after that, what you would do is you'd pull your archive, right? And you would, now you could just have a large Mars hand and play this card. Now this card right here is going to give you cards. Now, there's two ways you can do this. You can either play this card and get a bunch of cards, or if you have a bunch of Mars cards on the board, you can play Total Recall first. This will bring all your creatures back into your hand, and you're going to gain an amber for every single creature, right? This is a gigantic amber gain, but if you don't need this card first you play this one, right? Or you keep it. It's up to you. It depends on whether you need it, which order you need them in. But basically, you play this, you get a bigger hand, you play down your entire Mars board, right? And then you play this card, right? And you gain an amber for every single creature on the board, right? And then after that, you then can play this card, gain a bunch more amber. You can play all your creatures back out, and then you play Mating Season. Now you shuffle all your creatures back into your deck, but you're going to gain a metric ton of amber again. So you're going to have just a gigantic pool of amber at this point, okay? And you're also going to have a large hand because of playing Battlefleet, right? Battlefleet is going to have allowed you to draw one card for every Mars card you had in your hand, and most of those cards probably aren't going to be Mars, okay? So now you've just got this gigantic hand of Mars cards. Now, if you have Nepenthe Seeds, right, on the board, so this one takes more cards, right? As you can see, it's a harder combination. It takes more cards. But if you have Nepenthe Seeds on the board, once you start playing these key abduction cards, right, you then forge a key with no additional cost, and you've already generated just a ton of amber, right? Omni-sacrifice this, bring key abduction back into your hand, play it again. Burn through your amber. This could potentially generate 3 keys in a single turn. Okay, all you have to do is just look at how many creatures you need and so on and so forth. But it's very, very doable that this is going to gain you 2 or 3 keys in a single turn if you get to this point. Now, you don't even need to get to that gigantic combination to make it usable, right? These are the cards I actually have all in the same deck, right? All these cards are in the same deck. Okay, so right here, and I do have a card that brings stuff back from the graveyard in this deck too, or from the discard. So I can bring this card back. Now, people are probably going to want to purge this but this is, there's only one card that purges non-creatures. So this is going to be really hard to get rid of for most decks. The other thing that you can do, right, is just play Battlefleet once you have a giant Mars board, draw a bigger hand, play all your Mars creatures down, play Mating Season, right? Get a ton of amber, play this, bring it back with I can't remember which card it was because I didn't pull it out of my deck. Bring it back, and then play it again and get 2 keys right off the bat without your opponent being able to stop it, because really that's just these cards as a combination, right? It's just these 3, not even including those cards. That's just these 3 cards, right? So this is yet another potentially broken situation. And these are not the best cards for it. There are more cards that can do this. If you had multiple key abductions, right? Multiple battle fleets, you know, multiple, not Mating Seasons, but multiple total recalls. Where did I put that card? Oh, there it is. If you have multiple total recalls, right? Play all your creatures down, play total recall, play all your creatures down, play total recall. Gain just a metric ton of amber. And then after that, start playing your key abductions, right? Now, the difference between this combination, right, as you can see, you know, it's also 6 cards, right? The difference between this combination and the other combination is the fact that, one, this combination is a little bit harder to do, and it contains multiple rares. So out of all the cards that you really want the most, that's uncommon, that's a rare, right? That's a rare, or is that, no, sorry. That is, yep, that's a rare. So another rare. That's a rare, okay? and this is an uncommon, right? So you could play it without this card, but that's a super powerful card that you would want for the combo. But generally speaking, right, yet another combination that could easily break the game if you, say, had 2 key abductions, 2 total recalls, and then just the creatures to take advantage of it, right? So yet another potentially broken combination. Now the last combination we're going to talk about, I don't have the cards for currently. But basically all it involves is Epic Quest. If you have a deck with 2 Epic Quests in it and 1 Nepenthe Seed, or anything that can bring Epic Quest back, what you do is you put all your Sanctum cards down, you play Epic Quest, you archive all your Sanctum cards. They now have a single round to get rid of this card. If they don't get rid of this card, on your next round, you bring all your creatures back, you play your Sanctum hand because you hold on to the cards because you're preparing to use this, and if you've played 2 of these or whatever, you then can forge your keys for free at no cost, and all you're doing is just cycling your Sanctum cards in and out of the board. So this is also a very potentially broken card. But again, there's ways to stop this. There's ways to stop the Mars combination. Now, it's a lot harder to stop the smaller version of the Mars combination, but the only one that is truly, 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 truly broken, in my opinion, the one that is an absolute game breaker, is this one. This combo right here. The Chota Hazri combo is completely broken for a couple different reasons, in my opinion. And the reason is 3 keys in a single round. And the other reason is it doesn't need a rare. There is no rare required for this combination. And that is just insanely overpowered if they did not remove this from the algorithm. So there you go. Potentially broken card combinations. If you do watch my content, look for these combinations. These are the ones that really matter. These are, in my opinion, the combinations that will lead to the most potential for an absolutely broken deck. So look for these combinations. Don't pay an insane amount for them. Don't do anything like that. But if you find them at a decent, reasonable price, and nobody else has really started talking about this yet, pick them up. Pick them up for 20, 30 bucks before anybody knows what they are. Buy them from your friends. Get them from other people that you see that have these cards in their deck. And then if you do manage to get a hold of one of these, please send me your deck list. Send me the commander card with your deck list so that I can see the combination and I can feature it for other people so they can actually see that this combination exists or any of these combinations exist. Like I said, I am only 1 card short of a relatively game-breaking combination myself. So just remember, if you see these, pick them up. These are probably going to be the most broken combinations in the game. And the other one, like I said, to keep an eye out is for Restra and Gundus, which is a discard. If you find a deck with 2 or 3 of those, that has the potential to break the game. 3 is definitely going to break the game if you manage to get them all in your hand. So there you go, and have some fun.